WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Common. Candice Springer,
Hello.
Assistant Director of WBUR CitySpace.
That's me.
You're back in the place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Candice.
Yes.
It's April.
It's April.
It's getting warmer.
Ish.
I stepped outside.
Uh-huh.
Did not have a jacket on.
That's great.
Yeah, I
That's
felt
progress.
Yeah, spring is here.
It's here, but we need a little bit more sun,
I agree.
right?
I agree. And the only way to get sun is to go outside.
That's the way to do it?
Maybe you could sit and stand in your window or something, but
True.
you probably want to go outside.
Or just stick, your arm outside.
You want to go out and be in the streets. You want to be in these streets when the weather is nice and it's sunny.
And how do we do that? What's a reason to do that?
I think you got some.
I think I do.
So Candice.
Yes, indeed.
Hit us with things to do this month. What are we doing?
So the first one is happening at the Coolidge Corner Theater on April 4th to April 26th, and it's called Animania.
Animania.
Yes.
I like that.
So my question to you is, you into anime?
A little bit. It's been a while since I've watched, but yeah, I
Got
do.
a favorite?
I go back. Like Ninja Scroll.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
Street Fighter,
Ooh.
What's the other one? I think Fist of the North Star.
Wow.
Like those.
Okay. So this is perfect because this series at the Coolidge Corner Theater is all about the anime classics, right?
Okay.
Like if you are a diehard fan or if you've never watched an anime movie before, these are the movies that you would probably put in your anime starter kit, right?
Yep.
So for example, we've got Ghost in the Shell. You know Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah. No Ghost in the Shell.
Totally. So that is a classic film, dystopian sort of cyber 2029 Japan. And we've got Major Motoko Kusanagi, who is on the hunt for a mysterious computer virus capable of infiltrating human hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then we also have the classic 1988 film Akira, which is a landmark cyberpunk film that is all about post-apocalyptic Japan swarming with violent motorcycle gangs and, anti-government revolutionaries, right? And this was the film that really sort of changed the world's perception of Japanese animation and really sort of ushered in a new wave where people realized this isn't just for kids. This can be for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are two, I think, out of the list that I feel like are super classic, highly recommendable. But at the same time, while this whole series is going on, the Coolidge is also presenting a new film called Suzume. This film is about a 17-year-old protagonist who she discovers some doors, and she has to figure out how to close the doors in order to prevent some devastation. That's all I can tell you in order to draw you into this film. But what's nice about this series and this new film is they're being presented, again, classically with Japanese as the main language with English subtitles. But if, it's hard for you to read subtitles or you're just not a fan of them, Suzume, the new film, is actually going to be presented with both the Japanese and English subtitle version, or you can opt in for an English dubbed version. And so, I just love our independent movie houses because they offer us the ability to access all these classics that we may have not seen in a while or, people haven't seen before, and introduce them to a new audience.
And they introduced them in the format that they were intended to be seen.
The cinema.
In the movies.
Exactly.
So you can get that experience.
With the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So definitely check that out.
Get your anime on at the Coolidge Corner Theater from now until April 26th. Okay. What else you got for us?
All right. So I got to throw down a musical option, right?
Hit it. Let's do it.
So from April 7th to May 14th, this is a pretty long run, the Lyric Stage Company is presenting Sister Act.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, I mean, I wish she were going to be in it. But this musical, which originally did have runs in London's West End and on Broadway, Whoopi Goldberg did produce it.
Okay.
And it's based on her classic 1995 film, which, I mean, by classic, I mean
Classic.
Yeah. But it won't have any of the songs that you're used to from the movie. It has all original songs created for the musical. This is the perfect show for families or bring your, girlfriends. Always date night. We're always looking for date nights.
Always.
So you definitely want to check that out. And one of the other things I wanted to mention too is that the Lyric Stage is awesome because they often offer $5 Fridays. So if you follow them on social media, once in a while they'll offer up a Friday show for $5. They'll give you a code and you can come for $5 to this show.
Love that.
Which is just absolutely cool.
Making it accessible for
Totally.
the people.
We love accessibility. Otherwise, the tickets are, a range of $15 to $80. So not too bad, but take a look out for those $5 Friday deals because those are really, really clutch.
That's Sister Act at Lyric Stage Company of Boston.
Yes.
What else you got?
So my final recommendation probably is maybe the most joyous. And it's a comedy show. We haven't talked about comedy shows
We have not
yet.
talked about a comedy show.
And there is a venue in Boston that is like the premier.
The Wilbur.
Yes, the Wilbur Theater, the premier location for comedy shows. And so one that has attracted me this month is Janelle James. Janelle James, for those who don't know, is a comedian and actress who stars in Abbott Elementary on ABC. And she has become probably the biggest scene stealer of that series.
Yeah.
And she's about to close out her newly famous tour, which I find hilarious, right? Because she's really just blown up because of Abbott Elementary.
She's hilarious.
She is so
that
funny.
role was made for her.
It was made for her. And it's also an amazing role because if anybody hasn't seen it, she plays Principal Ava Coleman, who is kind of corrupt.
Yeah.
A little disagreeable, but also a lot lovable, right? These moments when you think that you really can't stand this principal, they then twist it around and you realize how much you actually love her. I think it takes a really special actress to be able to do something like that.
Yep.
But what's amazing about this is she may be newly famous to all of us, but she's been on the road.
She's been out here.
And doing stand-up for a long time.
Yep.
So it's really exciting to see her being nominated for Golden Globes and Emmys. But this is an opportunity for us to witness her do
her thing,
right? What she's known for. And the tickets are so affordable for this. They range from $28 to $35. Let me tell you, when Janelle James comes back to Boston after this, they're not going to be that.
Right.
And they've been flying. So this is my hot ticket recommendation. Get the remainder of these tickets before they go.
All right. So that's Janelle James, the great Janelle James.
The amazing Janelle James on her newly famous tour.
At the Wilbur Theater.
Yes.
On Sunday, April 23rd.
At 7 p.m.
Candice, I love all of these recommendations. And I'm making a note. I'm writing them all down. Because this month, I have no idea what I'm getting into. So,
well, there you go. I've started you off on your journey, Daryl.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Did you kill Marlene Johnson?
I think you're one of the first people to have actually asked.
From WBUR and ZSP Media, this is Beyond All Repair, a new podcast about an unsolved murder that will leave you questioning everything.
Somebody should be in jail for murdering my sister.
A woman who's never been believed.
As long as they think I have done this, then they're not looking for who actually did this.
And that's what makes it a cold case.
No, it's a botched case.
And a search for the truth, once and for all.
Wow, it just gets more interesting.
Beyond All Repair. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Be careful. You're digging in a place that's been very peaceful for a while.
Do it anyway. Dig.
And we're back. It's time. We got to bring it home.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us what's going on at CitySpace.
All right. We've got a lot going on, but I want to highlight one particular week. And this is the first time that CitySpace has said, hey, Earth Day is happening, and we want to do an entire series dedicated to Earth Day. So we're calling it Earth Week, and we're doing 3 events that are all about climate change and the environment and protecting our planet.
So funny you mention that.
Why?
Because we at The Common are working on a series.
Look at that.
About climate change.
Synergy.
Amazing.
To use a buzzword.
I mean, it's almost like I should probably host one of those events.
Maybe. Look at him trying to slide into CitySpace on The Common. Let me tell you about the events that we're doing. So on Tuesday the 18th, we are doing a Science Friday climate fair for families from 4 to 8. And so we're going to have a whole bunch of different organizations in the city who are going to show different experiments, and kids or families can come and learn about everything from like how trees can tell us about the world that we live in to what can we learn from frogs. And then on Friday, the 21st, we are doing something we have never done before, which is a special Choose Your Own Adventure night at CitySpace, all inspired by disaster movies. So we are allowing you, the audience, to help us stop a world-ending climate threat.
Yeah, what are the movies?
Oh, I can't spoil that.
Okay.
I can't spoil that.
One comes to mind. Can I guess one?
Okay, go
Day
ahead.
After Tomorrow?
Obviously.
You right? Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. So you got one, but if you want to know what the rest of them are, you have to come to this event. You, the audience, are going to be in control. You will decide where we get to go on this journey, and we're going to have a conversation actually about, could any of this stuff ever happen? And if so, what do we need to do to stop it for real? Or can we even stop it for real?
Listen to the Commons Climate Change series.
That's it. That's it. And the last event is a Climate Hope concert, right? So we're going to bring it back with joy after we've talked about
Climate Hope concert?
A Climate Hope concert.
All right.
So we're partnering with this organization called Multiverse that does classical concerts combined with conversations about science. And so this one's all going to be about climate change. So it's going to be a mixture of music and stories and conversation from different scientists throughout the city. Really interesting. Lots of visuals. And hopefully we can end on joy.
That's so important in the climate change conversation.
Absolutely.
Is to, we're trying to hold off the pending disasters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The flooding, the excessive heat, and all the consequences of that. But we're here now.
We're here now.
Exactly. We can still enjoy ourselves and live our lives, hopefully in a sustainable way. Right? So all is not lost. There's still hope and possibility.
There's still hope.
And
really, it's just, sometimes we need to be reminded that while there is gloom and doom, like, we're all part of the solution, right?
Yeah.
And so if we want to get, more out of the headspace of gloom and doom and into a headspace of this is possible, we can fix things. Sometimes you need a series on The Common or at CitySpace to remind you of just that.
Candice, thank you so much for coming through to The Common. This is always a joy. Always.
Seriously, one of the best things I get to do every month. So thank you for having me.
That's Candice Springer, Assistant Director of WBUR's CitySpace. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common. If you have any thoughts on things to do this month, please hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at WBUR The Common, or send us an email at thecommon@wbur.org. And now it is that time for me to let you know that The Common is produced by Caitlin Harrop and Franny Monahan, with help this week from Wilder Fleming and Nora Sachs. And it's mixed by Emily Jankowski, Matt Reed, and Paul Vikis. And it's edited by Ben Brock Johnson. And from the newsroom of WBUR, I'm your host, Daryl C. Murphy. I'll talk to you soon.